afternoon and welcome to everyone. It's now our appointed time for this creative and inclusive campus for international students here at TCC. It's a lovely afternoon and it's a great day to talk about inclusivity. As we move forward through today, we have a panel discussion, and I call your attention to a couple of things that I want to bring to mind as we're moving forward with this discussion. Diversity, equity, and inclusion are buzzwords for our campus, are part of the TCC's new strategic plan, and I encourage everyone who's in attendance to go and take a minute and digest some of that material, because we're going to be hearing about it a lot. This is our first conversation about creating an inclusive environment for international students and whatever support services that we offer. So this is more of an educational conversation, because I firmly believe the more we can talk with each other, the more we find exactly how alike we are and how much we're really not that different. So as we begin our conversation today, we have a panel of presenters, and I'm happy to say that we have a combination of faculty and students and staff here at the campus who's going to share some wonderful information with us. We have Heidi Decker, who is our International Student Advisor for TCC. We have a student, international student, Rex. We have a professor of English as a second language, Professor Ria Russell. We have another international student, George Konkov, who's also going to share his experiences. And I believe we have Professor Olive Ezell, who is a professor of intercultural communication here at TCC. So I'm delighted for this panel, and for those of you who are joining us, both here and who may be virtually from home. And we'll go ahead and get started with our first panelist, Heidi Decker.
Hello, everyone. This is coming up on the end of my 5th week at TCC. So I'm rather new here and still kind of learning the ropes. But I was asked to give a little presentation, and I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about international student, like the tips for success that I give to international students when they come to campus and when they come to the US. So I'm going to share my screen real quickly, and hopefully this works. So studying in the US, tips for success. These are the things that I would recommend to my students, but also not just for the students, but I think it's important that everyone else involved in an international student's life knows these things and how to support the students. So I think this is good for everybody, whether you're a professor or a staff member, American student or a foreign student. I think that everybody can kind of contribute to the life of and the success of international students when they come here. The first thing I would say is to make a budget and stick to it. Money can slip through your fingers very quickly, especially when you're not used to using that currency. You kind of fumble with it doesn't equate well, where something in your country, I don't know, maybe a loaf of bread would cost 10,000 something, and here it costs 3, and you're like, oh, 3, that's cheap. And so you just gotta throw your money away. You really have to write down a budget, and you have to stick with the budget and really monitor your money. But on top of that, I would say pay your bills. This might be the first time in your life that you're responsible for your own bills, your internet bill and your cell phone bill, and you need to keep up with those things. And it's a real maturing opportunity for you, and sometimes it shocks people when they come here and they have to do everything for themselves when they're used to their mama doing it. The second thing would be to make an academic plan with an academic advisor and stick to that plan. Set down your goals with an advisor who knows how to get you from point A to point B. Let them help you figure out the classes you need to take and the path you need to go on. And it's fine to change your mind. You can change your mind, change your major, but make sure that you're talking it through with an academic advisor so that you can do it the right way, not waste time and not waste money. The third thing would be to make friends with people from other countries, but especially make friends with Americans. I've lived abroad and I gravitate to other Americans. They speak my language, they know my culture. It's natural to kind of gravitate toward your own people and speak your own language. But there's a reason that you came to America, and don't only congregate with your fellow countrymen. Get out there and meet all kinds of people. Meet people from all over the world, but get to know the culture, get to know the people here, make connections, and learn. You have an opportunity to not just learn a subject matter, but to learn an entire new culture by living here. So make the most of your time here and really experience America. My advice, anytime you go to a new country, but even anytime you go to a new place in general, you're moving across country to a new state or something like that, is learn to say yes. When you have a new environment, you're going to have new experiences and new faces and new people, and you're going to have some opportunities presented to you and invitations to go to a movie or go out to dinner or do something that maybe you're not even interested in doing, but learn to say yes just so that you get involved. If you say no to an invitation, people are less likely to invite you to something else the next time. So, because you say no to things. So say yes if possible. Obviously, you have to take care of yourself, but say yes. Make that a motto for yourself so that you get involved. And hey, do you want to do something after school today? Yeah. So go along with the crowd and have some fun. Do not violate your F1 student status. Enroll full-time. Don't work unless you're authorized. Work toward your degree goals and inform ISS, my office, if there's any changes in your address, your major, anything changes on your I-20. Make sure that you are talking to me and make sure that you understand the parameters of what you can and can't do in the United States. I should have added there, don't get arrested. That doesn't happen very often, but there are some things that are legal in other countries that are not legal here, cultural things that might get you in trouble. So you want to know what the laws are and you want to know how to stay out of trouble with the law. That's a quick way to lose your visa. And then I would say balance your life. So manage your stress, seek joyful experiences while you're here. Stay healthy, which means that you have to eat well and you have to sleep well and you have to attend to your physical fitness and you have to attend to your spiritual fitness and you have to attend to your social fitness and not just academics. Yes, you're here for academics, but there's so much more to who you are and you have to take care of all of that. So you want to keep everything in balance. And then I would say to diversify your life a little bit. Some students are very dedicated to getting through school and doing really well and having career goals, and that's beautiful. But you're a whole person, so don't ignore the other parts of who you are and make sure that you diversify your life so that you're getting involved in activities or developing other interests other than just your academics. But include your academics. And then the last thing I always tell international students when they come here is they may not be used to this, but in the United States of America and at any US college or university, there are people who get paid as a job to take care of any need you have. So if you have a need, there is no excuse for not getting help. It's my job to help you with your immigration problems. We have other people that will help you with academic problems. We have other people that will help you with mental health problems. We have other people that will help you if you have financial needs, things like that. So make sure that you're just asking for help because we have it available and we get paid to do this. So let us do our job, but we do it not necessarily just for the job, but because this this is what we like to do. We like to help students, and we want to launch you into the next phase of your life the best way possible. And so that's what we're here for. We're here to help. And so let us help you if you have a need. Don't keep it to yourself. I probably went over 5 minutes. So I was trying to get through that real quickly, but those are the kind of things that I would say to kind of be aware of, and make sure that like, if you're not the international student, see where you can help them to develop those things, help them with their finances, help them keep balanced, and help them like stay on track with those certain things, and help them feel welcomed and included in different activities. So that's all I wanted to say today.
Well, thank you. We're going to hold questions until the end, but if you have questions, go ahead and jot them down, and that way we'll have them ready at the end of all of our presentations. Okay, so I think, Tol, you're next.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Since my first and last name are quite long and hard to pronounce, you can just call me Tol. I am originally from Thailand, and I am an international student here at TCC who are studying in a science program right now. Actually, before I came to the United States, I was a physical therapist back in my home country. My plan, after I get the associate degree here at TCC, I would like to transfer to ODU to get my bachelor degrees of science. And after that, I would like to apply into the program of physical therapy at ODU. Today, I would like to talk about the experience that I have had so far in the ESL program at TCC. Back in my first semester here, actually, I wanted to enroll into normal classes right away, but unfortunately, my English skills did not meet with the requirements, so I had to enroll into the ESL program first. However, after several months of studying in ESL classes, I felt lucky that I had enrolled into the ESL program. The reason is because every ESL instructors that I have met so far, including Miss Sirje, is so good at teaching international students who want to learn English as a second language. In ESL classes, I have learned many things that I have never known before. My English skills are getting better and better every day. And every time that I have questions, maybe about my lessons or about the using of English language in general ways, I can reach my instructors right away after class, or send them emails, or I can meet them in their office hour online, which is very convenient for me during the time of COVID-19. I also found a lot of friends who came from many countries all around the world. We have created a study group in the application called Discord, and we have been together ever since. Being an international student means that I have to experience the differences in cultures and educational systems in the United States and the one in my country. The ESL program helps me to gradually get used to the new environment here, and it's also helped me to prepare for the academic classes that I have to take in the future. So for me, ESL program is more than just a normal academic program. I think it is like a comfort zone for international students who are studying at TCC. And before I go today, I would like to give a piece of advice that I have found useful for me to my fellow students. My advice is to find the right academic advisor as soon as possible. Don't be afraid to change to another advisor if you feel that the one that you have right now is not the right one for you.
Right.
I mean, all academic advisors are good, but I also believe that each one of them have his or her own experiences and background knowledge in some specific fields of studies. For example, in my case, the first time that I met with my academic advisor, I told him my academic plans and goals that I would like to pursue a career path of a physical therapist in the United States. And luckily enough, he has a daughter who is a physical therapist. So he knew exactly which path that I have to take in order to get to my goals. And when you find the right academic advisor, try to stick to them. And that is the only advice that I can give you for now. I wish you all success in college, and I hope that I will see you at the campuses in spring. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tol. Now I have one last assignment for you, and that is, I want you to pronounce your full name for us so we can hear it.
Actually, my full name is pronounced Supakit Lek Sawang Wong.
Very
It's in
good.
Thai. Yeah.
That's in Thai. That's amazing. It has a
Thank
nice
you.
little ring to it. Thank you so much.
You're
All
welcome.
righty. A great tip that you shared for those listening. Our next panelist is Ria Russell, who's the professor of English as a second language.
All right. So hello, everyone. I am assistant professor of ESL and also program chair, one of the program chairs for the ESL program at TCC. First of all, I wanted to thank Dr. Bryant and Ms. Peoples for inviting me to this discussion, and more importantly, for hosting this event to recognize international education and international students at TCC. I was an international student once and greatly benefited and appreciated the opportunity. As an ESL instructor, I would like to focus on two resources that are available to our international students here at TCC, the ESL program and ESL tutoring. So the ESL program, if I'm not wrong, is pretty much as old as TCC. So about 50 years old, pretty much as old as I am as well. So we are located on the Virginia Beach campus, and we are English for academic purposes program, because most of our students wish to earn a degree or a workforce certificate here in the United States. The goal of our program is to prepare non-native speakers of English for college level academic work. And most of our graduates reach the level of C1 in English language proficiency by the time they finish our program. And that level is according to the common European frame of reference. Some of you may be familiar with this system that is now used for all the languages in the world. And there's only one level after that, and that's C2. So let me tell you, or maybe your friends, how you can enroll in the ESL program. Of course, not every international student needs ESL, but when you, but some of them do. So when you apply to TCC as a non-native speaker of English, you're asked to take the ESL placement test. This is a free test that usually takes anywhere between 2 to 3 hours. You can take it on any of our campuses, in any of our testing centers. You have to just call them and make an appointment. And that test assesses your English proficiency in listening, reading, and writing. If the test indicates that you need to strengthen your English skills, your academic advisor will help you enroll in the ESL classes that were recommended to you. Let me share my screen and I'll show you the courses that we offer. So we have 4 levels of courses. I notice that our students, when they come to our program, they already know quite a bit of English. So they come in as, you know, that this is our intermediate one, is our lowest level. And then we offer classes in writing, reading, and then oral communication, which is listening and speaking. And the wonderful thing about our program is that you get placed not only according to your level, but also according to your skill. So often students who come, like Tall, for example, who already have a degree, college degree from their country, their reading level is quite high. Sometimes those students don't even need a reading class in ESL, but perhaps the oral communication, maybe they need to work on their listening and speaking because they've never been to an English-speaking country. That is all I really want to share about the ESL program. I think Tol mentioned that all of our professors have master's degrees in teaching English to speakers of other languages. Many of us have taught overseas. I spent 4 years in Japan teaching English, and I've also taught English as a foreign language in Europe. The other resource that I just quickly would like to mention is ESL tutoring. This is primarily for our current ESL students, but if you are an international student and perhaps you're not enrolled in the ESL program but need some help with ESL related issues, please reach out to me and I can share this resource with you. It's currently available via Zoom. So if our tutor is not busy with our current students, you're welcome to seek help from her as well. I hope you share this information with your friends. I think George and Tol, and I see Walia is here, one of my current students, and Morjkan as well. You agree that the ESL program is a wonderful place to learn about other cultures. Ms. Decker encouraged all of us to make friends, not only with the people from our own country, but also others. And the ESL program, you can't find a better place. Every class is a mini United Nations. I always tell my students at the beginning of the semester, this will never happen again in your life. That you have so many people from all over the world in one place. So I look forward to meeting you. If you ever need help, please, I'm going to share my contact information. Please reach out to me or to the other program chair for ESL, Miss Gillian Durham. So you can reach me at srussell@tcc.edu. And currently, I'm not in my office, so the phone number is not as useful as my email. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Russell. Wonderful information. And I love the idea about your classes being a model UN almost of different students from all over the world. And gosh, I need to come in there and do some of that because I like meeting people from different countries. So thank you so much for that information. Now I'd like to introduce our next panelist, who would be George, one of our international students, to share his experiences.
All right, thank you, Dr. Sandra. Good afternoon, everyone. And in my speech, so first of all, my name is George, and I was born in Russia, and I'm from Russia, and I've been living in the States for more than 3 years already. And in my speech today, I would like to share my experience as an ESL student at TCC. And also I'm going to tell you about an amateur astronomers club that you might be interested in as well.
Oh, excellent.
So right now I'm enrolled in the General Studies program, and in this semester I'm focusing on astronomy classes at TCC as I'm passionate about astronomy. And this is my first semester in an academic program. Before I was enrolled in the ESL program that I've completed already. And in my speech, I just want to say thank you for an ESL program that has given me a lot of crucial knowledge that I use ever since. I've had different classes where I was developing my English skills like writing, reading, talking, and understanding English in general. And I'm thankful for all my instructions, including Dr. Russell or Professor Russell or Dr. Robinson. And the fact that I'm speaking at this conference now is a result of the ESL program. And also I would like to add that ESL program not only helped me to become confident in English, it also prepared me for my college academic work. And especially I was able to feel that during my English 111 class that I'm finishing now. Like, let's say a year ago, it was hard to believe that I would be able to write an academic essay without any grammar mistakes, or with just a slight amount of mistakes, let's say. And as I told you earlier, I'm also interested in astronomy, and I've been an amateur astronomer for more than 10 years already, and I like telling people about space and astronomy in general. And a few years ago, when I was in Russia, I realized that if I tell people about astronomy in English, I would have a bigger potential audience. And since English language is an international language, in Russian, like how many people are there? Hundreds of million people who speak Russian, but there are billions who speak English. So as a result, using English, I may inspire a bigger number of people that might become interested in astronomy or space using English language. And this August, I created my YouTube channel that is called Astro Creation. And most of my videos, they're focused on amateur astrophotography. And with help of this channel, I not just tell people about space, but also learn how to tell people about space using English. So I'm still learning during this process. And the bottom line is that my ESL classes have helped me to launch my YouTube channel, as well as I've become more confident in English. And in the end of my speech, I'd like to tell you about Amateur Astronomers Club. It's called Back Bay Amateur Astronomers. And this organization is dedicated to bringing astronomy to people of Hampton Roads and Raw Local here. And in the chat later on, I'll post some links to the club's website and Facebook page. And you might want to check them out, especially that the monthly club meetings, they're held in the Science and Technology building at Tidewaters Community College at Virginia Beach campus. So it's really close to you. If your class is at Virginia Beach campus, you may want to come over and visit one of the meetings, and who knows, perhaps you'll find a new hobby for yourself. And thank you. Thank you so much for listening. That is all I got for tonight. If you have any questions, we'll be able to, I will be glad to answer them.
Yes, thank you, George. I love the Amateur Astronomy Club. That's going to be cool. I like astronomy. I don't know why, but I like to just lay in my backyard and look at the stars. And it's a cool thing. But I don't tell people that because, you know, those of us that are above the age of consent, it doesn't seem like it's something we're supposed to be doing at this point in our lives, but we do. So thank you for sharing with us. And our final panelist is Professor Olive Ezell, who is a professor of intercultural communication here at TCC.
Hello, everyone. I'm delighted that Professor and Dr. Bryant has actually chaired this program because I have been a part of this for quite some time. I'm just letting you know, have you ever heard of Caribbean music? Oh, yeah. Calypso, soca? It builds the spirit up. But not only that, I was the executive director of the Multicultural Association of Virginia. And I brought all the cultures together, and we would have a festival every year. Next year, I'm planning to do that in Hampton, Virginia, putting Hampton on the spot. And therefore, I need every one of you to be a part of this festival. But what I want to say something more about intercultural communication. I was a foreign student to Canada. And what I learned, as one of the professor said, I'm looking at her name, Russell, who said, it's a United Nations that we form when you come into a culture. I established Hampton Roads Caribbean Organization and established the first Caribbean Carnival in Virginia. And then we had Hampton Caribbean Day. I need for Virginia Beach campus to bring all the campuses together to have a multicultural festival where we could learn from each other and inform others of our history. When have you ever been to a multicultural festival? You never want to leave because the food is so good.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, yes. Because you have a taste from every country, every island nation. But whenever I explain to students that I teach intercultural communication, the first thing they ask me, is it a diverse culture? Is it cultural people from everywhere? Yes, but what we do is communicate in a multicultural level, and we bring everyone into the culture. I would like, now remember, I'm Caribbean American, and I represent Caribbean Americans at the White House every year. And I tell them about what happens in Virginia, especially for the students at TCC. You may not have known that, but I've been speaking about you. Thank you for the good work. Culture is what we are talking about, diversity. This is what the world needs now, to come together. America is coming back together. You notice our president was overseas, bringing all the nations together. And that's what we should do. At TCC, we have always done it. So I'm so proud of Dr. Bryant and the panelists for bringing back culture to Virginia Beach and throughout our culture, so that when I go back to the White House, I can tell them what we are planning to do and what we have done, and our young students who are learning from TCC. So I don't want to take up much time, but Dr. Bryant has my number. Don't forget, anyone could call me. I'm waiting. The phone is right here. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Professor. I do. I have her number on speed dial, and that's okay. We all have to have that person that, you can just call and say, what do you think about this?
Exactly.
And that's wonderful. This has been such an insightful discussion. So now what I'd like to do is to thank our panelists, of course, but also to open it up for those of you who are here in attendance for any questions that you may have that we might be able to give you either a referral or additional insight or to be able to answer. So do we have any questions from the group?
I don't have a question, but I do have a comment I would like to make.
Okay.
As for George, I am a media specialist here at the Portsmouth campus, and I just glanced at your YouTube channel and I looked through a few of your videos and I really love them. They're awesome.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you, Holly. That's wonderful. Anyone else? I can't wait to see them.
I have a question from Ms. Decker. So
Okay.
if I want to reach you by emails, what is the email that I can reach you? Is that the ISS@TCC, the same one that they used before?
For you, since you're a continuing student, you can just email me at my personal email, which is hdecker. So HDE, I'll put it in the chat. hdecker@TCC.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I changed my address and I send the new address to the old emails, like the ISS one, the ISS@TCC, but no one replied me, so I'm getting worried.
So in the gap between Jessica and myself, no one was really touching the emails. And so I have a backlog of 481 emails that I'm trying to go through. So it's going to take a long time.
Yeah, it's all right. That is what I think, that you have that one, because yeah, Miss Jessica left, so it's all right. I will send the new one to your personal email. Okay, thank
Great,
you.
thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, I have a question. As an international student here at TCC, you go through the ESL program and then you transition into the program of your choice. Are you finding any areas that we need to work on or look at that you're having difficulty with, whether it's the bookstore or, they don't have t-shirts in my size, to whatever? that can assist you to be successful at our school.
I'll say something about the website pertaining to international students.
Oh, excellent.
It's horrible, and I plan to revise it so that it's user friendly, and making like online forms for the international students to communicate with me. And even the application, the I-20 application, needs to be an online form, not a paper form that they have to fill out and fax it back to me. So it's probably gonna take a long time to get everything up to speed, but I don't like the layout of the website, and I'm hoping to make it a lot more user-friendly.
Okay, we have a message in the chat from, I just lost it. From, I think it was Seth.
Perhaps maybe if you have vendors, or perhaps maybe online resources for students who are international, who may not have English as their primary language, and it may be their secondary language or tertiary, and so on and so on. And I was curious to see what kind of resources or vendors that you might be using at your schools, so that I could pass those along to our administrators, because we are seeing an increase in international student enrollment because we have added campus sports, and that has fortunately attracted a lot of international attention. And so, I would be curious to see what kind of resources perhaps we could make available for those students.
Yes, besides the ESL program and there is the English Language Center at ODU, I really cannot think of anything else that we have in Hampton Roads. Of course, we do have the Adult Learning Center that caters to sort of lower levels of English proficiency, and it's with the public school system of Virginia Beach. So these are the three places that I know in our area.
I was about to ask a question that I think Virginia kind of started with, and it was, now that you're a student, an international student at TCC, are there any additional resources that we may need to have at our libraries to assist you?
Well, on behalf of the libraries, you probably know that we have 4 campuses, and we have a library at each of those campuses. We're available online. I just put a note in the chat, and you can also contact us by telephone. We welcome any ideas, any suggestions. If there are materials that you think we should purchase, such as books, please let us know. We have reserve books available if you might be in a situation that you can't afford some of these expensive books. We don't have a lot of them, but you can always ask your teacher, instructor, professor to donate a copy of the book to the library, and then we put it on reserve for you to use. You can scan your assignments from the book. So there are ways that you can really save a lot of money on your academic costs. We also have a lot of films. A lot of people don't realize that in addition to books, we have a growing collection of online and digital resources. Rather than go through that step-by-step today, that's what I also put in the chat. Go to our website, just click on the icon that says Ask a Librarian, and we're happy to walk you through the process. We have Canopy. You've probably heard of that. We have Films on Demand. So it's really fun to just go through that list, type in some subjects that you're interested in, and see what's available.
Any other questions?
I want to add to what Virginia just said. TCC librarians have also put together a nice list of recommended websites and other resources that are available at our library, and those suggestions are for our ESL students. for example, various websites that are helpful, and I've started to use them myself in class, as well as some book recommendations. One of the really effective ways to improve our reading comprehension in the English language is to just read books that you love. And so those suggestions are helpful. There are suggestions for books that are being made into movies, and a lot of my students love those. And of course, those books are, many of them available at either our Virginia Beach Public School libraries or TCC libraries. So that's another wonderful resource. Perhaps also to tell us how wonderful our libraries are here at TCC. All of the ESL textbooks that we use in our program are on reserve at the joint use library on the Virginia Beach campus. And we consider student cost seriously and try to minimize the cost. And I just started developing an open textbook for ESL 41, which will then be free for all of our students. It will take 3 years to develop, but that's in the works as well to reduce textbook cost for our ESL students.
That's excellent.
Can I make a suggestion?
Certainly.
To the librarian? Every library should have a part of just a little room or place where most of the students can gather for a cultural month. Every month celebrates a culture. And there should be one. For example, mine, June is Caribbean American Heritage Month. And in that month, we have the Indigenous Peoples Month. We have quite a few. So check that out and put a place in the library where the students could come and sit and learn and watch videos about the cultures they could learn from.
It's a great idea.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Okay.
First and most, I want to thank Miss Sirje, because I'm an ESL student, for all the hard work and effort. I really am so thankful for everything that she does for us. And actually, I want to second, I want to talk about, because we were talking about library. I want to ask if I can put my own book in our library at TCC. So if it's possible, if I can, because I had a book wrote in English language, so I might be able to put my book in the TCC library if that's allowed. And the other thing regarding to what Ms. Decker said, I agree with her, because the website about international student is confusing, because my niece is trying to attend TCC, enroll to TCC, and she really had difficulty by getting the right information, because some information, they're not updated. Like, for example, what you need for ES, or what do you need for language, or for bank statement, and this is stuff. Ms. Decker really helped us a lot, but still maybe for some other students. And the other thing is about sometimes the admission is also confusing, because for example, I really wish she could attend this Zoom, but on behalf of her, maybe I can just tell, because you asked the problems or the issues that is existed. So, for example, there are several holds on her account, and it's really hard to solve these problems, because she's not living in the US, and it's difficult for the communication. Ms. Decker is really trying to help us, but there is still some stuff that's not in her control, and we're trying to talk to admission. I just wanted to refer to this three issues that I had as an international student. But otherwise, I'm just so happy that I could take classes with Ms. Russell, and later learning so much about grammar and English. Thank you so much.
Very good. Thank you, Morgan. And I know, having this feedback, just like Ms. Heidi said, you know, the website is not in the best shape, and she's going to be working hard on updating that. Then that's also something that all of us need to know. Hopefully that things will get better for you and your sister so she can indeed enroll here at TCC, because I know we would love to have her. Are there any other questions, or anyone else want to share anything with us?
I have another question.
Sure.
Do you know if there is maps of the campuses of TCC on the website? Because I'm trying to find that, because the next semester I'm going back to campus, and I don't know where to find my the buildings that I have to enter the class, like or the class number or something like that. I just need a map if we
Okay.
have one.
There is one on the website, on the general TCC website page, but I'm sure that Alicia, can you help us with that? Or can we get to him after this is over about where he might find that information? I know there's one on the website, because when I'm going to another campus, I have to do the same thing that you're talking about, is to find where the building is so I can figure out where I need to park, etc. But it can be kind of buried. So
the college has been in transition for the last couple of years, and unfortunately, as Ms. Decker said, the website can be kind of convoluted, and even the materials that are supposed to support us as far as the maps and those kinds of things. Many offices have gone in different places, and with COVID, things have shifted as well. So our marketing and publications team at the college at district in Norfolk are working towards revising and updating things. If we have something that's current and that will be useful to you, I will make sure that we send that to you directly.
George, would you like to share some of your astronomy images so we can have a better feel for what it is that you're doing? I kind of wanted to ask that earlier, but I wanted to be a good moderator and get feedback from everybody before I asked for something that I find very interesting.
Of course, it's not a one picture, that's the collage of the 6 planets now. So there are 8 planets in the solar system. Of course, I'm not able to take a picture of Earth unless I'm in space.
Right.
And there are Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, and the ice giants, Uranus and Neptune. And maybe not in December, but the next year for sure, I'll take a picture of Mercury as well, the first planet of the solar system.
Oh, wow.
Then
you take this from your telescope?
Yeah, from my front yard.
Oh my.
The only thing that the picture of Mars.
Oh, wow.
No, actually, all of these pictures I took in the United States this year. Yeah, all of these pictures were taken this year, but Mars was taken last year, also in the United States.
Okay.
This is the lunar eclipse. I took this picture in 2015, and actually, there is the chance that it'll be rainy in Virginia Beach in Williamsburg, where I'm located now. But if you have nothing to do, you can wake up 3 or 4 a.m. in the morning, just step outside to see the lunar eclipse that's happening tonight. Yes. Yeah, you're gonna see the pretty same picture, and hope that we'll get a clear skies at least for an hour, because I'm going to take the picture, so I have the night coming without a sleep tonight. Then this is the animation of Jupiter rotation. So the Jupiter, that's the biggest planet in the solar system, and on the Earth, the day takes 24 hours. On Jupiter, there is just 9.5 hours, the period of rotation of Jupiter. And technically what I was doing, I was taking pictures of Jupiter during 5 hours observations, and I was able to create an animation of rotation of this planet, almost whole rotation. Wow. Yeah, this is one more. This is the star cluster. This one called Messier 22. This is the comet, and this is pretty interesting. And I have my latest video on YouTube about this comet called C2021A1 Leonard. The interesting thing about this comet that in December, there is the chance we can see this comet with naked eye. So you don't know equipment is required. in December to take a look at this comet. The only problem, you gotta wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning to take that picture, to see the comet with naked eye.
Wow.
This is Andromeda galaxy, the closest galaxy to us. Closest is 2.5 million light years from us. And this is actually my best image to date of this galaxy. And also I can even zoom in so you can see all details that this galaxy has.
How phenomenal.
Okay, then what else I have? This is also star cluster, and this one actually was taken maybe 6 years. I just started my astrophotography, some attempts of in astrophotography, but still not a bad result. And this is the picture. On this picture, you can see the star cluster in the center called Messier 35. On the right, that's the star cluster NGC 2158. So the interesting thing in these clusters, you can see that the cluster in the middle has mostly bluish stars, which is tell us that there are young stars. By young, I mean they're the period of life is 100 million years, while the stars on the right, they're all orange, yellow, reddish. They're all old stars, and their age might be billions of years, at least 1 billion year old. And on the left top, you can see another comet, and this is the comet 67P, Churyumov-Gerasimenko. And I took that picture in October. I had to get rid of sleeping, and I was taking that picture 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. And there is interesting about this comet that in 2015, the orbital spacecraft Rosetta sent the lander Philae on the surface of the comet, and technically it was the first comet lander in our human history, and we took some close pictures to this comet. And this is Orion Nebula.
Beautiful.
This is the nebula, and that's the region where stars forming, and they're forming now actually, right there in the gas and the dust. Yes, there are just a few pictures I have. I have more, but I just don't want to take all the time from this conference.
Oh, it's beautiful. Absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much, George. I'm so glad you did that. Those were just amazing pictures. My last question of our international students, what kinds of activities or events would you like to see here on the campus? I mean, Professor Ezell certainly shared a couple with us, but what kinds of other things are you interested in seeing?
Maybe some sport activities like yoga or Pilates. I was actually just now with my classmates, we were having tea time, and we were just talking we wish we could have yoga or something that we could go to the gym. That would be nice.
I told you during my speech that at the Virginia Beach TCC campus, we have monthly meetings of Amateur Astronomers Club. The only thing what the TCC might do that, advertising these events, because I'm not sure, let's talk not just about international students, American students. I'm not sure if a lot of people at TCC know that there is astronomy club here. Maybe TCC want to do some advertising, add some notes in newsletters,
right,
when we do email broadcast or something like this.
Okay.
Yeah, I think club might have more people involved, get more people involved, and I think each of us that here in the conference now or in general have some interest in space. You can just walk from the store to your car in the parking lot and take a look at the moon or something like this. Anybody's involved in some way. So yeah, you may want to add some advertising.
Well, I just want to share with you that the student centers are open at all of the campus locations, and you can congregate there and share and work out in the fitness centers and explore the different club offerings and activities there. But you will have to check the student center. I'm hoping they have some type of a schedule to know what's happening on any given day. I believe the fitness centers do have a schedule. And I'm not sure about the yoga and Pilates, but certainly it's worth looking into.
During the
Yes,
pandemic, we've done yoga and Pilates virtually, especially
Oh, wow.
early on in the pandemic. Actually, Professor Hauser, who was here, is she still here? Dr. Hauser, Lynette Hauser led our Pilates. And I think some of those videos are still available. So I will be sure to include those in a follow-up email to you all, so you have access. And if you're interested in being on campus, then you just need to connect with your local student activities office. Particularly some of the comments you made, George, you definitely want to connect with your local student activities office about what the club is doing, because once you give that office your marketing information, the flyers to talk about what the club is doing, then we are that avenue to get the word out via the Student Center Canvas shell, via all the social media pages for each of the campuses. And on occasion, we also send some things through our VP, Vice President of Student Affairs, Dr. Karen Campbell's office. So definitely be in contact with your student activities offices to ensure that access is made and that your interests are taken into consideration as we are planning and promoting student programming.
Yes, I wanted to add as well, as you can see, there's just so much talent in this group. I mean, Morshkan is an author, and we should have both of her books at our library. And we're always looking for keynote speakers. And Morshkan, this is something that you should consider and look for opportunities to talk about your book. George, I encourage you to put that information to the student newsletter now that comes out every week, right? We receive it in our email. I think those newsletters are so helpful, and a lot of students are reading them. I just saw a note about the cycling club that one of the professors started, and I mentioned it in class, and one of my students was very interested. And so now I may have one ESL student biking around with this TCC, bike club, and making friends with other students and so on. All of us can contribute to our local community. Morshkan, let's revisit the yoga and Pilates idea. I am a registered yoga teacher and a certified Pilates instructor. Wow. But as you know, I can't keep up with my grading, so I just don't want to make big promises. But one day, this is sort of my dream. I would love to offer sort of ESL yoga someplace, or international yoga, or something like that for fun for our community. So let's see.
And Morshkan, we can definitely create a forum by which you can talk about your books, focus on one particular book. Please get in contact with me. My name is Alicia Peoples. I will be in contact with you. And you've tried to come to other events, so we're looking forward to being connected, to continue to, again, support all of you and having the experience you'd like to have here, and expanding yourself and developing yourself as just people, but also as professionals. So yeah, definitely be in contact.
Okay, well,
sure, I will. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, well, we've reached our appointed time. We've gone a little over, but that's okay, because it's been a wonderful discussion. I think we have done a great job of creating an inclusive campus and having that wonderful conversation about things that are happening at TCC, services that we're offering at TCC, how students can be successful, what students want, and sharing information. And I think that's what it's all about, from both an academic and a service side. So we want to thank you for your time. I want to thank the panelists in particular for all of their hard work and their presentations and their sharing, as well as our students who participated in the panel. And we look forward to doing this again sometime really soon. So thank you so much and have a great rest of your evening. Bye now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.